Lights are bright, huh? I'll put it right back on the spot. Can you guys hear me? Is this on?
Yeah.
Can those of you in the back hear me? Excellent. Thank you, Mr. Winkler. That was fantastic. So this year's theme for Winter Assembly is harmony. And as I was reflecting on the word itself, it became clear to me that, in fact, it is the essence of SAGE. So I'm not sure who came up with the theme. Katie, was that you? Katie Pierce? Who came up with the theme for harmony for this year's? Well done. So then I did what we do, and I looked up the definition of harmony. So consistent, orderly, a pleasing arrangement, congruity, and from my perspective, community. So as I was eating the leftovers from the faculty and staff gathering this morning, I had steak at 10 a.m. I was chatting with a faculty member who unknowingly provided me with the substance behind my remarks today. He explained that he had provided a group of students, 2 lower school, younger lower school students, and 2 upper school students with a challenging problem to solve. The 2 younger students were able to solve the problem, and the 2 older students at that moment were not. The teacher asked that the older students ask the much younger children the steps they took to get to the right answer. According to this teacher, the eyes of the older students became quite wide. And with that disbelief that they would even be asked to do such a thing, the teacher smiled and said, "There have been many times where I have relied on you to help me solve a problem for which you already had the answer. How is this different?" The students knew the truth behind these words. They put their egos aside and asked the 2 younger students to explain how they reached the correct conclusion. In no time at all, the 2 older students had correctly solved the problem. But more than that, it was the give and take, the sharing of ideas, the willingness to be vulnerable is by definition that congruity, that community, that harmony, that is the essence of SAGE. Now, related to that, Sophia Miez, who is currently the director of college counseling at the Commonwealth School, she was also a senior admissions and financial aid officer at Harvard University for 10 years, is a good friend of one of our current parents here at SAGE. This parent actually wears a number of hats and is really one that gives of her time, her treasure, her talent to this school. And she was telling me that she had dinner with Sophia. Sophia is a good friend of hers from graduate school. And I got permission to tell this story and mention this person's name. I don't want you to think if you tell me something, I'm going to share it at an assembly with everybody present. So This person told me when we were at dinner a few weeks ago, Sophia remarked how amazing Sage kids are and truly stand out from their peers at Commonwealth. Not only are they the best prepared academically, which I appreciate, I'm sure all of you in the room do, but also they are the kindest. They are strong leaders in the community. I did mention that this story was related to the story I told you before. And here's why. We are a community where every person matters. We are truly like-minded in what we value and how we approach all that we do. Every single person contributes to the school, first by showing up, and then by doing their best. In the same way, every single dollar that you contribute and every donation you are able to give, no matter how big or small, makes a difference. It all helps drive our mission. And it is true that your time, your treasure, your talent is what results in the harmony that you are experiencing here today. From the students that have entertained you, to our MCs that will come up and introduce the wonderful work that our students have done. I want you to think of that as you have this opportunity with all who are like-minded to see how we do what we do with the best of intentions for all. With that, I want to wish you all the most peaceful holiday season with love, kindness, and of course, harmony at its center. I thank you so much for being here and giving me this moment to speak with you. Thank you so much.
Okay, so first up we have the kindergarten, first grade, second grade chorus members have been talking about the themes of peace and harmony. They've also been thinking about different celebrations that happen all around the world this time of year. They found that light is a common theme that connects many people from all different parts of the world. This song celebrates the differences and similarities that bring us all together. Introducing K, second grade chorus, and grade 7 and 8 choir, Light a Candle for Peace.
Candle for peace, light a candle for love, light a candle that shines all the way around the world. Light a candle for me, light a candle for you. That our wish for world peace will one day come true. Light a candle for peace, light a candle for love, light a candle that shines all the way around the world. Light a candle for me, light a candle for you. That our wish for world peace will one day come true. Sing peace around the world. 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 Light a candle for peace, light a candle for love, light a candle that shines all the way around the world. Light a candle for peace, light a
What could be more fun on a winter day than a big cup of hot chocolate? A dance about hot chocolate. In movement class, students have been thinking about transitions, musicality, and collaboration, bringing these into the center of their dance creation. Kindergarten has worked hard to choreograph and rehearse this dance about one of their favorite and most delicious winter traditions.
First grade loved their science unit on the moon so much that they decided to make a dance about it. They talked about the different ways their body language can be used to reflect the phases of the moon. The artistic process started with brainstorming in small groups and eventually developed their choreographies, each showing the phases of the moon their own way. See if you can find all the shapes of the moon in this piece. First grade with the moon dance.
If you want to write a song about the moon, walk along the craters of the afternoon. When the shadows are deep and the light is in, and gravity leaps like a knife off the pavement. And you want to write a song about the moon, you want to write a spiritual tune. Na 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 na, yeah. Interesting. A song about the moon. If you want to write a song about the heart, think about the moon before you start. Because the heart will howl like a dog in the moonlight, and the heart can explode like a pistol on a dream. So if you want to write a song about the heart, and it's ever longing for a counterpart, heart. Na 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 na, yeah, yeah. Write a song about you. The laughing boy, he laughed so hard, he fell down his place. The laughing girl, she laughed so hard, tears rolling down her face. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hey, it's alright. We'll be
Next up, we have a very special performance from 8th grade's very own Savannah Deputy, and she will be dancing to the winter song.
This is my winter song to you. The storm is coming soon. Rolling from the sea. My voice a beacon in the night. My words will be your light to carry you to me. Is love alive? Is love alive? Is love? They say that things just cannot grow beneath the winter's so I've been told. They say we're buried far, just like a distant star. I simply cannot hold. Is love alive? Is love alive? Is love alive? This is my winter song. December felt so long. You're not where you belong. Inside my own. I still believe in summer days. The seasons always change, and life will find a way. I'll be a harvester alive and send it out tonight so we can start again. Is love alive? Is love alive? Is love alive? My winter song, December never falls, 'cause you're not where you belong. Inside my own.
Next up, the youngest members at Sage have some big hearts and some big singing voices. Pre-K and beginner classes are excited to perform their song about the intangible things they can all share and offer to people everywhere. Along with the song, they have also choreographed the song with movements to emphasize the message of the lyrics. So without further ado, Pre-K and beginners all around the world.
Now, Pre-K has already shared their dance talent with their grandparents today, but they're back at it again. Working together on spatial awareness and gross motor skills, the Pre-K students have created an energetic dance reminding us all to shine as bright as we can wherever we are. Pre-K and shooting stars.
Close your tired eyes, relax and then count from 1 to 10 and open them. All these happy thoughts will try to weigh you down, but not this time. Way up in the air, you're finally free and you can stay up there, right next to me. All this gravity will try to pull you down, but not this time. And it's time for you to shine, brighter than a shooting star. So shine on where you are. The darkest night in the brilliant light, 'cause it's time for you to shine, brighter than a shooting star. So shine on where you are. Tonight, Fire starts and family flames so hot, it melts our hearts of a pouring rain. We'll try to put it out, but not this time. Let your color burn and brightly burst into a million sparks that all different illuminate our world. We'll try to bring it down, but not this time.
For the creation of this piece, second grade started by brainstorming through pantomime about the different winter activities they enjoy. And they discovered a theme: snowball fights. Embracing that common love of the icy, snowy game, second grade choreographed the dynamic piece, which incorporates space, levels, tempo, and, of course, snowball fights.
Ain't got your number, but I know your face. Ain't got your dress, but I'll find your place. I'm after you, and you know the reason. It's the starting of a snowball season. Don't you know what I feel? Catch no cheer. My blood is so big, I'm much more worried about the upcoming season. It's the starting of a snowball season. Lost my hat, you will find my gloves. My catch your feet up bad, what do I know? I'm going hard, although the weather is freezing. Idling close during snowball season. You know what? You catch no cheer. My clothes are so big, I didn't worry me. I'm much more worried about the upcoming season. It's the starting of a snowball season. Don't you wanna know? We have it coming home. I stand there, that's a challenge.
And now we have Isabella Caradonna playing on the piano, Zina Visalor.
What happens when you mix the traditional Japanese art origami with storytelling? You get storigami. Enjoy as this tale of a journey to treasure unfolds with great 5 and 6 visual art treasure map.
There once was a wise man who thought about what life meant and was close to finding the answer. The wise old man had an apprentice who always had wanted to know the secret to her master's philosophy. After her master's death, she began to search through his papers and belongings, hoping to find the secret to his philosophy and tried to find the meaning he was searching. As she searched, something caught her eye. It was a piece of paper with a large X on it. X marks the spot. It was a treasure map. Surely, she thought this hidden treasure was the secret behind my master's smile. She ran up towards the X straight away and was ready to get the treasure. Along the way, she encountered a large obstacle, a big, scary mountain.
She was terrified at the thought of climbing a mountain which ignored her fear and began.
She went from the very bottom and thought, I did it. At the same moment, she saw another traveler making their way up the great mountain. As the two travelers met and spoke of their journey, the friendship that they felt opened their eyes and softened the corners of their hearts. And then they realized what the true treasure was, the friendship that filled their hearts.
The 5th and 6th grade drum set for beginners has been working on the Rockies to a medley of classic rock tunes. I Am Tiger, We Are the Champions, Sweet Caroline, and The Final Countdown. So grades 5 and 6, drum set for beginners elected.